Mission Pro Wrestling, the symbol of excellence in women's sports entertainment.
Good evening, Mission Pro fam. It is Mission Pro Spotlight. The spotlight shines on you. I am, of course, Mind Runner, sometimes known as Mid Runner, and with me is my tag team partner. She is the most lethal lady with a kendo stick flag. I'm talking about Angel Marie. Angel, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, and I hope all of you guys are doing great too. I'm super excited to talk to our guests a little bit later, but first, we got to cover some news.
We got to cover some news. We got to cover like 2 weeks of news because we did kind of do the spooktacular version of Mission Pro. We had the Mission Pro Spotlight, so now we've got like 2 weeks to cover. It's going to be quite a bit of stuff going on in the women's divisions all over. We're going to try to get the cream that rises to the top. Oh, yeah, because you know the cream rises to the top. So we're going to get the all of the important stuff. I want to just say shout out to Pepe in the chat. Pepe, I hope life is treating you well. Stay hydrated. Astrid, what's going on? Good to see you. Matthew, good to see you. Courtney, she is the supreme leader of Team Heel with the Dynamite Download crew. So definitely, keep an eye on Courtney because she is she's big on the Schneidenfrau or whatever that's called. Anywho, yeah, I know. I'm trying to scientific words. I tried all the slay and bussin' slang, and now I'm going the other direction. Anyways, before I get carried away, let's get to it. We got a lot of news to cover before our special guest, Mystii Marks, the mystical one, comes in and spreads her mist on us. So let's get to it. Let's get to the news in women's wrestling news all over the world. All right, first off, we've got to talk about the recent WWE departures or releases, depending on the context. And there were a few others, but Baron Corbin was included. But we got to talk about Indy Hartwell and Tegan Knox are officially let go. Especially weird that Indy was, I believe, wrestled right before they announced her release. I mean, she was involved in a match right before she was let go. Mm-hmm. Angel, how you feeling about these departures? And are we at a time now where being let go from WWE doesn't have the sting it used to because of the other options that are out there?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, if you happen to be released or anything from the WWE, there are so many opportunities out there for you to go and wrestle with other prestigious companies as well. Like, there's a lot of huge independent, the independent wrestling scene is so huge. And I mean, even if you didn't want to go back on the independents, you could try your luck at AEW, you could try your luck at Impact, TNA, and there's so many companies. So it's really not that bad of a thing if you were to get released right now than if you were maybe a couple years back. But it is kind of bittersweet because, Tegan has had her fair share of getting released and then rehired. So it's kind of sad, but she can still find opportunities elsewhere. And same thing with Indy. Now with Indy, she literally shared online. She was like, don't, something along the lines of don't cry because it's sad, but smile because it happened. And that's a really strong sentiment for not just people in wrestling, but just everyone in general, that we should just think about that. Things are sad when they have to come to an end, but it is really nice to just look back on
It is. It's absolutely, one of the things about, and one of the good things, advantages about both of them is they're still relatively young compared to now the legends that are still active. I mean, heck, we'll still see, Lita and Trish Stratus are still,
Yeah.
walking around. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity. And one of the cool things, being an AEW fan myself, I love that AEW brought me back as a wrestling fan. But what AEW has done that doesn't quite get the recognition is it has elevated a lot of other brands and indie shows too. It's elevated wrestling as a whole, and now TNA is a much more viable option than feeling like the minor leagues. TNA, even NWA.
Yeah.
We got some of our Mission Pro alum are killing it at MLW. There's so many options for them that they can. And if Matt Cardona has proved anything, you can make a living on the indie circuit now, where that a lot of times it was obscurity. I wish him the best. It's almost like, it's one thing to just sit there and catering to collect a paycheck, but on the other side, if you're a creative person and you're not being used, sometimes it's better to go feel like you're being used. It's going to be interesting to see where they end up. Where do you think they might end up?
Ooh, that's a really interesting question. I haven't really thought about that. I mean, wherever they end up, I'm sure that they'll be happy regardless, because they're gonna do what makes them happy. And I mean, that's what we should all do in life. Do what makes us happy.
Exactly. So I'm wishing them the best in their future endeavors. Hate to say it like that, but yeah, Matt Cardona got Chelsea's face tattooed on him. I did see that, Pepe. That was, oh my goodness. That's a pair. That is a dinner table conversation I'd love to get into. But
Yeah.
moving right along, Angel, I understand, we a lot of people have mixed feelings about Crown Jewel. And of course, it was the showdown between the top two women's champions, Nia Jax, Liv Morgan. Liv was victorious and she won the title belt, but all she got was the ring. And you've got some thoughts about that. We're talking offline before the show. What are your thoughts on Crown Jewel, the match, but more also the result and kind of the whole event in your opinion?
Yeah, so it was kind of strange to me. I mean, I thought that the match was nice, but the fact that like to me, I'm a person who is like, don't spend as much money as you need to, like save your money. Which I mean, when you're like a multi-million-dollar company, you don't have to really like worry about that too much. But what I thought is crazy is that they spend like hundreds and thousands of dollars on these titles because they have like, I don't know how many diamonds they said on it, or like gems or something like that. But like it was expensive. I mean, it has to be expensive from how much like sparkle is on it. So I mean, it was really beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but to make two of those and then only have the title for about maybe a few hours, and then have it taken away, put into a museum, and then you're given a ring in return. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. I feel like they should have been able to keep the titles, but I don't know. That's just kind of weird. I mean, the ring is nice, but like, I don't know. It's kind of weird to me.
It's weird too, and the whole thing about they win the title, but are they going to defend the title next Crown Jewel, or is it going to be whoever just happens to be the two women's champions again? I mean, is it going to be that instead, or is it is Liv going to defend her title the following year to somebody? Maybe they'll have like a match. Maybe the top two current champions. Is she going to still be champion or not? That's going to be interesting to see. Courtney, of course, the queen of the heels, says she's talking about she doesn't watch the Blood Money show. I know that's part of the controversy too. Is that, I mean, we try to keep it positive here at Mission Pro Spotlight. I know that's one of the questions that one of the concerns people have, that it is kind of a parade of obscene wealth. But I mean, it is canon if you're talking about WWE, storylines and whatnot. So I don't know. It is kind of bizarre they don't get to keep the belt.
Yeah.
But moving right along, let's move on. There's a lot.
Definitely.
I am so stoked about this, and I know Angel, you might have to drop and come back here in just a second. Understandable. So, but I've got to talk to you. I got to go on a rant. While you jump off and jump back,
I'll be right back.
I've got to go on a positive rant here. My girl, Masha Slamovich. I don't have it with me right now because I'm cutting back on the alcohol. But let's pretend this is vodka. Nostrovia for Masha, new TNA Knockouts Champion. She, at Bound for Glory, she and Jordan Grace had a phenomenal match. And I think even though Masha's had so many bangers, this was one of my favorite Masha matches. She was just really on point. She and Jordan, we talk about wrestlers having a great dance partner, and Jordan Grace and Masha Slamovich were just so in their groove with each other on this, and the finish was great, and those were genuine tears from Masha, and of course the congratulations on the end. Masha is definitely the one to pass the torch. Now there's two things. One, Masha's such a great person to finally represent. I mean, that moment when Gail Kim first gave her a contract at TNA, I mean, this has been a girl that has been just crushing, still crushing it on the independent circuit, but she's been crushing for so long, grinding for so long. She's finally getting the recognition she deserves. And I think she's a fantastic champion. But this also opens up a huge juggernaut size opportunity for a Miss Jordan Grace to spend more time in NXT. And we're going to get to her involvement in NXT here in a little bit. But I'm so happy for Masha. Drink a shot of vodka for the new champ. So proud of her. I mean, if you ever get a chance to watch, Masha wrestle, there's plenty of chances, because chances are, let's see, it's 7:43 Eastern, 6:43 Central. She's probably wrestling somewhere. She might even be wrestling a bear or a moose somewhere. You never know. She'll wrestle anybody, anything, anytime. But congratulations, well deserved. So happy for you, Masha. Also, NXT. Again, we have to jump and cover quite a bit of storyline. In particular, one of the interesting things that I saw was Keilani Jordan in kind of getting a little bit of the rub from none other than Rob Van Dam. The little backstage segment. Now, of course, Rob Van Dam, some people compare him to the Charlie Sheen of wrestling. So I was a little bit concerned about that. But if it's more of a coaching senpai-kohai relationship where Keilani Jordan's learning wrestling, that's a much different thing. But Angel, welcome back.
Yeah.
Oh, you're perfect.
Sorry about the technical difficulties. I think it might have been Wendy Chu messing with my stuff because I bad talked her a little bit.
I just started talking about Keilani Jordan and Rob Van Dam offering some insight and advice. Those of you that know Rob Van Dam's recent past, you might want to, might have been a little bit nervous about that discussion. But knowing Rob Van Dam as the wrestler, this was pretty interesting and quite an interesting rub. Talk a little bit more, Angel, about the rest of the NXT. Other than there was one match we'll get to later, but interesting to see Dawn Marie in a ref's outfit with the Lola Vice match.
Oh, yeah. No, I was super excited to see Dawn Marie because I had kind of heard about Dawn before, but obviously I didn't grow up during that time, so I don't really know too much about ECW and all that other from just what I've heard or what I see sometimes. So it was nice to see an and it was really cool just to get that even though I don't know her, it's still cool to get that that one person that is super cool to be the referee for the match. that's super fun. And then after that, we had Carmen sort of kind of flirting, quote unquote, with Ashante. It's kind of strange because
Mhm.
what happened is that like she's all getting mad at Ashante, but then she's saying she doesn't want Ashante, but then she might want Ashante. Like, it's kind of confusing. I don't even get dating either, so that's Carmen will figure it out on her own, hopefully.
Oh,
And then after that, we have Ava announcing the deadline is going to come back in December. I forgot what exact day it was. It
that's
was
what I'm
someday
saying.
in December. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it's someday in December, and then they're gonna bring back the men's and women's Iron Survivor Challenge, which I'm so stoked about. Honestly, I don't know about you, but I could see Jordan Grace getting in the Iron Survivor Challenge.
I would love to. That has to happen. Now, there's been a lot of buzz about, and we're going to talk a little bit later about who might be in that Iron Survivor Challenge. There was a nice photo that kind of suggested who could be in it. But here's the thing: you got to have heels in there too. You can't have like five baby faces, but there may have been a little bit of an incident occurred in NXT that may be pushing for a possible feud between between Jordan Grace and the newest arrival to the women's roster, Zarya. We'll get to that. Yes, gore. I mean, I'd love to talk about it. Just the picture at the bottom. That was moments before ECW legend, and of course WWE legend, the Rhino gave Mr. Stone the gore, and that was such an awesome. That was a great pop for a legend right there to hear. For Rhino to get those props. That was fantastic. You'd love to see it. So again, NXT is killing it. We're gonna get to another match in NXT in just a moment. But this is just a hint at what's to come. These five, and people online are suggesting, could these five be for the Iron Survivor Challenge here? I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think definitely, like, for sure, I said I want Jordan, but, like, I mean, all of these women in this picture could for sure be in the Iron Survivor Challenge, but then there's also women who aren't in the picture who should probably also get the opportunity. So then it's like, I don't know who I want. It's like really difficult. But I mean, they are going to have matches to determine who's going to go in the match. So we'll be seeing that, I believe, starting this week on NXT.
Yep. I have more to say about this picture, but we'll have to talk about it. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's talk about it right now. We'll get back to the rest of the news, but there was really little debate. There was only one other match, and it was on Collision between Thunder Rosa and Harley Cameron. That was the runner-up to this. But ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the banger of the week.
Hold on to your Kulos Mission Pro fans. Lock on, it's the banger of the week.
Banger of the week, the 5-on-5. I don't think there was any other competition besides the Thunder Rosa match. This was incredible. 5-on-5, and we got to see, arguably, but you have a really good case. We got to see the 5-on-5 best 10 wrestlers in NXT, women's wrestlers. I mean, there's others as well, but I mean, this was such an incredible match, incredible moment, and chills. I'm still got chills about it. What a great, and everybody got a chance to look good. It wasn't one person that dominated. Of course, everybody had a chance to dominate, but I felt like this was such a great showcase. Angel, your thoughts on this incredible match?
Yeah, no, like you said, everyone had their own chance to shine, and what one of my favorite like spots in the match is whenever like they all kept like going from one person to another person to another person to another person. Like just when one would go down, that person was standing up, another person was jumping in the ring ready to get them, and then back and forth and back and forth. I was just like that, like it was very fast.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like that spot. And like this picture right here, so freaking awesome. Like that just the amount of absolute talent that is in that picture. It's so perfect. It's chef kiss. It's so amazing. Like this match was awesome.
It's like Fatal Influence, Cora Jade, Roxy versus the Avengers, essentially, or Justice League, all of them combined. Mm-hmm. Such a great, like, this is cinema. And again, there's so many great women's divisions in other companies, including the main roster, but take notes from Chef Shawn Michaels, because, and the ladies here, because this is just such, And, Stephanie Vacour got her chance to shine. I love that they allowed Kaylani Jordan her time to shine as well. She got to do a lot of her cool moves, yes. And she was kind of the, every match there's like that one or two that are kind of like the workhorse, and then they get the hot tag. Oh, that hot tag to Jordan Grace was so great. I know your girl, yes. Jasmine, got to do the she kind of did the Calientita.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I was like, I did a double take. I was like, I oh my gosh, I gotta show Callie now because I don't even know if she saw it. But I was like, I did a double take. I was like, she just do the Calientita pose. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, how's Callie gonna feel about Jasmine taking her thing? Ooh. You know what? Idea. Boom. Calientita versus Jasmine Nix.
Of course, we got to book it, and the winner gets to use the spicy kiss, yeah. Whatever. Pepe says it was like Lucha Rules. Yeah, this is incredible. It's the kind of wrestling I really, really enjoy. That was a great pace. There wasn't any, and nobody. I don't think anybody looked bad. Even they protected. Roxanne didn't look bad. Everybody came across looking good. The ending was great. Of course, Zarya scores the pin on Roxy. But what was really interesting was the little bit of confusion. This is a classic wrestling maneuver where Zarya goes for a spear, misses Roxanne, and spears Jordan Grace. I think, are we setting up a Jordan Grace Zarya match? And if we are, put it in my veins. Let's go. Let's do this. This is going to be great. Or carry it on to Deadline and put it in the Iron Survivor. I don't know. It's just such a great. She hit Jordan hard. If you caught, Jordan was really, I think she was shooting in pain. I don't think it was as comfy as it could have been. What do you think about the ending, though, Angel? And what do you think about the girl standing tall at the end?
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, freaking the fact that that Zarya speared Jordan, I was like, oh, that's not going to go well. I was like, already before when they were setting up, like, for that little spot, I was like, this ain't going to go well. This ain't going to go well. But they still did it. And did it go well? No. That has to be expected. But yeah, I think that maybe that they'll, I would say maybe if they were both in the Iron Survivor match, that it would definitely like boil over into that. Like that would definitely do something. But yeah, I love this freaking image of all of them standing tall. Like, oh my gosh. Again.
Yeah.
It's chef kiss, bro. It's amazing. I love it.
Here, I'm going to say something that may sound blasphemous, but it's kind of like saying the ugliest supermodel or the least tasting Skittle. It's, if you look at this image, Julia, out of all five, seems to be the least shiniest star, and she's a superstar. I mean, it's like 5 superstars. And I mean, that's not taken away. You've got Kaylani Jordan that's really getting a great rub. You know, everybody's looking fantastic. This is the women's division in NXT, and this is why I hope, and it's not a talent issue. I think it's a booking issue. You can book, and you got to book with chemistry, and the chemistry of all 10 ladies in this match was just off the charts, and that's why it is our banger of the week.
Yes.
But we've got to move on to the aftermath. Roxy wasn't so happy with the result, and she furthered the rumors that she is the illegitimate daughter of Shawn Michaels, especially by super kicking Stone in the face and reenacting the scene from when Shawn Michaels kicked at the time unknown Shawn Spears in the face. He called himself Stan. What did you think of this moment?
Yeah, that's Shawn Spears.
Shawn Spears was Stan, the guy on the microphone back then. This was way. Well, I mean, he would go on to become
I did
Ty
not know
Dillinger.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not know that. Wow. Okay, you learn something new every day. No, that's interesting though. I love that. But yeah, I literally, that's what I was about to say. You're saying Shawn Michaels' daughter, but I was like, wait, she's Punk's daughter.
We need to get Mari
Her and
Povich
Cora
in here.
are both Punk's daughter, but. But yeah, the freaking video. Oh my gosh, I was dying laughing at the video. I just kicked Stone, and then she starts crying. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, bro, that's like me with this week at this point. But no, I was like, oh my god, that's so hilarious. I just kicked Stone.
Don't get in Angel's way. Just to recap, we got, because there's so much to get to, and we've got our superstar spotlight is about to shine. We're all about to get misted here in just a couple minutes here, but let's really quickly run through what's going on in AEW. The things are heating up between Chris Statlander and Mercedes Moné, and there seems to be a rift starting between Mercedes and Camille Brickhouse. Mercedes is really treating Camille, kind of giving her the Wardlow treatment, like back with MJF and Wardlow. So I'm wondering if they're eventually setting up a feud there, but it's already set. Chris Statlander is going to go for try to regain the TBS title from Mercedes Moné. Real quick, Angel, what are your thoughts? You think Chris is going to get her, or do you think Mercedes is going to retain?
Honestly, with all the tension that's going on right now, I could possibly see Camille leading Chris to win the title. I don't know. I don't know.
Interesting. Also, in case you haven't missed it, if you are sleeping on Ring of Honor, you need to consider. I'll tell you what, I will give you the Ring of Honor challenge. Subscribe to watch Ring of Honor just 1 month, and watch some of these matches, especially this match that just took place recently, Abaddon versus Athena for the title. Incredible banger, to the point that she even had the Moxley spot with the skewers in the head, dressed as Beetlejuice. What Athena is doing with the women's division in Ring of Honor is phenomenal, and she's really bringing the best at everybody over there. You got to check it out. You know, Red Velvet, everybody, you got to make sure you check out Ring of Honor. Also, this was the number one runner-up for our banger of the week was the Thunder Rosa versus Harley Cameron Dia de los Muertos match. Go check it out. You can watch most of it on YouTube. I don't want to say anything else, but that in the promo that Thunder cut afterwards is off the charts. And of course, Mina, everybody loves Mina. Mina is coming. So
Mina!
Make sure you know. All right. However, it is now the top of the hour, and I think everybody needs to sit back and prepare to get mystified because our special guest is going to be joining us here in just a moment. Mystii Marks is our guest, and she's going to be joining us here in just a moment. I'm excited. I'm super excited about our guest. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce our guest at this time.
Let's get this mother crunk! Yeah! What? Mr. Marks! Okay! What? What? Let's go! Okay! Mr. Marks! Yeah! Mr. Marks! Feel the mist! Yeah!
All right, feel the mist, Mystii Marks. Great to see you. How you doing? Thank you for joining us.
First of all, how y'all doing? First of all, who did that sound back of like Mystii Marks? Okay, I love it. I got send it to me. That's gonna be my new ringtone. I want it.
I will send it to you. I cannot confirm or deny that Lil Jon is my distant cousin, but I cannot confirm or deny. But Lil Mind Runner will be happy to send that up to you and crank that up.
Yes, please. I was like, what?
That could be your new entrance. Is okay, Mr. Marks.
I am doing great. How are you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic. So stoked to have you. You've been on our short list to have on our show since we started. Mission Pro alumni, because you've been crushing it everywhere. Great to have you here. And look, is that a wrestler in training next to you?
This is my goddaughter. She wanted to be on. She's like, I want to do the podcast. I was like, fine. Like one of my littlest, biggest fans.
Very cool. How are you doing, goddaughter?
I'm doing good.
Aww.
Thanks. How are you?
All right. Who's your favorite women's wrestler? Of course. Right answer. The correct answer. Absolutely. Do you have a desire to maybe step in the ring sometime?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. Depends. Have you ever taken a bump before?
She thinks she's too cute to wrestle.
Oh,
she likes doing gymnastics and stuff like that. So hopefully y'all might see on TV and the Olympics.
Majorette too.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Majorette. All right, Angel Marie is a color guard champion. She's also Angel Marie's the most lethal woman with a kendo stick flag. Maybe she might be able to take your goddaughter into a kendo stick challenge of some kind.
She'll love that. She likes new challenges.
Well, Mystii, so much of the Mission Pro family already know all about you, but just in case those that are tuning in are getting to know you for the first time, we have a start-off segment that is totally not ripping off Sean Evans from Hot Ones. We're totally not ripping off his ideas. But this is called Instant Sanity, where we actually do a deep dive into your Instagram and we pull out certain tasteful pictures that require a little bit of extra explanation. So without further ado, it's time for Insta Insanity.
My God, it's Insta Insanity.
All right, first up, let's go to Instant Insanity. First of all, the look is priceless, but this seems to be early on, and that looks like a ref outfit. And behind you, I believe that's Mia Friday.
It is Mia Friday, definitely is.
So what's going on in this photo? Where do you remember when this was taken?
I definitely remember. So this was when I was at Reality of Wrestling. This was when I first started. I started as a referee. This was actually after my birthday. I think the Sunday after my birthday in 2021. I think 2021. And I think I were either about to referee her match and she was looking at her opponent. And I was right there, and I was like, "Oh, let me snag a picture of Mia Friday." So it was one of those off-guard moments. So yeah, I definitely remember this picture.
Well, the look on your face, you do not look like a ref to mess with. You do not look like one of those refs that gets easily distracted. You're not going to try, none of this chair Eddie Guerrero business in my ring.
If you go and look at some of the Reality of Wrestling stuff, from the early 2020 to 2021, you will definitely see I was not a ref to mess with. Oh my gosh. My locks were so little then. Look how long they are now. So
Hi.
yeah.
We got the chat is saying what's up to goddaughter. They're encouraging her gymnastics career. So
Oh, look, they give me kudos.
That's so cool.
very cool, very cool. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, exactly. Do not look like someone a ref to mess with. Angel has some questions about
My choice of Halloween costume.
we couldn't tell.
Yes.
I was
Yeah,
in
I
my
mean,
eyes, I was a princess bunny.
Is it?
I can
Yeah.
totally see that.
I was the bunny. I was the girl that day. For
That's
Halloween.
Period. Please.
Yeah. My wrestling
Period.
friends love the one with
So
you doing
from
this.
like thinking back,
I
yes,
can't hear
that
you,
is
Angel.
cute. I love. Thinking back, what would be like one of your? Oh shoot! Oh no!
Yeah, I think we got a delay with Angel, so we're just gonna move on. But
Oh no!
this is such a cute outfit. I mean, you could use it for Easter.
Yeah.
You could use it for whatever.
Yeah.
Very cool. This is one of my favorite photos right here. All right, and I love it because it's like you're the.
Scared.
I think this was I keep wanting to call her Viva Van, but it's not Viva Van. It's
Vicky V.
Vicky V. Yeah, Viva Van, Vicky V. But the look on your face, like you're about to get the clothesline from death. What was going on? What were you thinking right here at this moment?
I was thinking I need to duck. I was thinking I need to duck, but I think I ducked. I don't remember, but I knew something was coming. So what's in my mind was, oh crap, I'm in trouble. I think at this point, I pissed her off, and she came back with a vengeance. And as you can see, she like has my arm,
Yep.
trying to get away, and she was like, Yeah, I
like,
think
heck?
I pissed her off.
Naughty.
Naughty. Yeah, Matthew Barnes is saying what you did to Captain Vicky was unacceptable. All right.
I don't think anything Mystii Marks does in the ring is acceptable, except that face. That face is definitely accepted.
Now, do you follow the Eddie Guerrero philosophy? Is that if you're not lying, cheating, or stealing, you're not trying?
I follow that in life as well.
Yeah, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
You're
Exactly.
not trying.
Exactly. Eddie was carving the way, and it gave him quite a few victories. Now we're switching gears here, a little different mood.
I know these dogs. They're literally outside. So the big dog is named Harley.
Harley.
And the little one is named Plato. Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
Harley and Plato are so cute.
Thank you.
And this is such a great fall picture too. This is
Right?
this just
It's
says
great.
fall. This is like after Halloween. It's before Christmas or holiday season. This is fall. Check it out.
Wait,
Yeah.
you did. Wait, did Jason come with you?
No, so I was a host at one of the wrestling events in San Antonio in Castroville, Texas. One of our branches at Dogpound Championship Wrestling is in Castroville. And this day I was the host. So I thought I was a cowgirl. But when I got dressed that morning, my boyfriend said I looked like a MILF. So I changed my outfit to a cowgirl MILF. And it's a really big place to bring dogs. They have a bar. So I was like, oh, let me get my dogs out today, because usually on the weekends they're trapped in the house for hours because of I'm wrestling.
Yeah.
And I get back home to them to like late at night. So I was like, you know what? This would be a great time to get them out the house.
Don't you think
So-
you're reminding me of somebody?
Yeah, hold on one second. So I decided to bring them to this this field, and they were able to run around, and they had this little pumpkin thing set up, and I was like, oh, I gotta get a picture. I got both of my dogs. Plato's a new puppy. He's only 14 weeks now. So I was like, this is a great picture. So yeah. shout out to Lewis. Lewis took this picture. He's one of the trainees at Dog Pound. So shout out to Lewis.
Shout out to Lewis. Very,
Cute.
very, very cool. And for the record, MILF is Mother I Love Friendship.
Yep.
Right? That's exactly what it stands for. Very good. Excellent.
I love what you said.
That's exactly what it means, right?
Yeah.
Right? Chat agrees. Courtney Holland has a quick question. She wants to know who your favorite wrestler was growing up.
Me.
Growing up, no, me, girl.
Well, Barry, we already know who your
Start
favorite
watching
wrestler is
wrestling
growing up.
until I started bringing it around her. So I'm her favorite, and forever will be her favorite because you have no choice. Sorry. My favorite growing up, Alicia Fox.
Yes.
She was my favorite. And Randy Orton. Like, those were the two that I literally looked up to. Like, if you go look at my movesets, what I do, it's all of them. Like, I channel them when I wrestle.
Are we gonna get the MKO or the MILF driver out of nowhere?
I'm currently working on something that kind of similar as the RKO. I don't know what I want to call it yet. I'm thinking about calling it the MOM, which is the mark of Mystii.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it's too close to mom. I don't like that part. It's MOM, it's mom. I don't like that.
This is about you, not your mom.
I know, but the acronyms is MOM.
Yeah.
Mark of Mystii. MOM. So
You could do the Misty's Mark. That's just Eminem.
Oh, okay now.
Right?
I
Eminem,
like that.
Misty's
Eminem.
Mark. Oh, all right, here we go. And she set her up for the Misty's Mark out of nowhere. Oh!
Okay.
There it is.
I see you. Okay.
There it is.
Okay.
And I think at coming up to, I think Alicia Fox, I think she's wrestling under a different name now, but
Yes, Vix Pro.
Vix is wrestling I think on December 1st, Jordan Grace, the
I
Juggernaut.
saw that. I can't wait to see it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's gonna be quite a match.
It is. I can't wait to. I just love her. She's a great competitor, and she's also a sweet person. I met her, so yeah, I can't wait to see her in the ring live.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Now, Maddie Rankowski, the now Rin Sinclair, she's also a Mission Pro alumni, has the most Mission Pro matches in Mission Pro.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times we don't hear from the competitor in these pictures, and we understand this was from your Instagram, and the person in pain there getting the chiropractic treatment, if you will.
Yeah, I needed that. It's clearly. Clearly.
But how is it though having that chemistry with somebody in the ring and really having that good dance partner?
It's like what you just said. It's like finding the dance partner. It's like finding the perfect mate for like 15 to 20 minutes. You have great chemistry. You have a great match. And then you give the fans something that they've been missing or something they've been waiting for the whole show. And it's like butterflies. It's a great feeling. And Maddie Rankowski is definitely a great competitor. One of my favorite people to wrestle.
And I think you and her, just from what I've seen on your Instagram and of course just her stuff, it seems like the two of you have a similar sense of humor too.
Yeah, I think she's funnier though.
But you both are very expressive, and that's something I think gets lost on in a lot of ways. Is you can be athletic in the ring, you can cut good promos, but there's storytelling in the ring that's more emotive. Like going back to that picture where you're about to get clotheslined by Captain Vicky, and it's like, oh no. You've got to be able to react, and I think that's something that really makes a good match. Is the Swerve Strickland and Kenny Omega are two of my favorite wrestlers, and they do a great job of like you watch their face, like Swerve will sometimes someone will kick out and he'll go like this instead of just whatever, he reacts to what's going on, and that translates very well. And love this. This is just a joy. This is an R&R picture. Where
Yeah.
are you here? Is this your happy place?
Oh, definitely my happy place. Anywhere there's a beach and I can get order free drinks all day, it's definitely a happy place. I don't remember exactly where I was at, but I do remember I think I was in Mexico. This was the day after my cousin's wedding. Oh, thank you, Courtney.
Slay.
Slay.
This is the day after my cousin's wedding. We were on the beach and we were just having a good time with him and his new wife. So I was so happy because I was so stressed out about the wedding and getting there and stuff like that. So it was really nice to just be on the beach and just be chilling.
Uncle Ray Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Well, congratulations, Uncle Ray Ray. And congratulations, and what a great spot. Oh, it's when you got to have that self-care. You got to be able,
Absolutely.
to quote one of my favorite shows, Parks and Recreation, treat yourself.
Come on.
If you've ever heard that, it's Aziz and Retta, treat yourself. You
Mm,
got to
and
treat
yeah.
yourself.
It was nice. It was a nice resort. We had fun.
And of course, this is there's two sets here. I got this one, and then I want to talk about this one also. But to me, this kind of goes back to kind of what you were saying earlier. But I love these pictures. Talk to me a little bit about how these pictures make you feel.
I consider myself very inspirational when it comes to young girls because the way I grew up, it was just for a long time just me, my mom, and my brother. And then I didn't have any sisters, came along until years later once I was in college. So to be around these young women and like these young ladies and they look up to me and they like want to take a picture with me, want to get my stickers, like it just means a lot. And this one here is definitely
Don't say that.
I was,
Don't say that.
I'll be cussing. This one here is definitely an inspiration to me. Like this is my first goddaughter.
I'm your sister.
Okay, my bad. My sister. She definitely pushes me and gives me the motivation I need. Like whenever she calls me and want to see my matches and asks where I am, like I can just give that to other girls whenever I'm not with her. So it's like one of those happy moments. Like I really, 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 really love taking these kind of pictures.
Oh, and like whenever I encourage you, like whenever you lose a match.
Yeah. She calls me and she roots for me every time I lose. She's like, well, forget her. You're going to get her next time.
That's so sweet.
Like, she's so supportive, even though she's so young, she's still so supportive. She brags about me. She loves me. So like, when I see these young ladies here, like literally they come to all the matches. This is, I am the champion in Lubbock at Squared Circle Pro. So
Nice.
These girls come see me every time I'm in the building. So I take pictures of them every time. I really have more pictures than this. But yeah, I just love seeing that.
And this picture right here.
Okay, so this was like my third match. And the one in the I think the pink, they're all brothers and sisters. It's like 9 of them. This was a back to school rally that we did at Dog Pound. And the pink one, that girl got some fire. I also have video footage on my Instagram of me and her wrestling.
Oh, really?
And yeah, it's like I think it's at the end of this picture thread or the next one. And we get in the ring and we're wrestling, and she has so much, but she came in ready. So like this is a whole family. They were so sweet. They were so nice. Her and her sister, they wanted to wrestle me. So we let them get in the ring. We played around. But yeah, all of them were very sweet.
Never know.
Remember it like it was yesterday. Yeah.
10 or 15 years from now, she might finish the story.
Oh, don't say that.
Remember me?
But we do still do this every year, so maybe I'll catch her next year at the next back to school backpack drive we have there. But yeah, oh man, I remember that.
I'm gonna get more water.
Okay.
That's so cool. And the poor kid, the poor guy on the far right, he looks like he reminds me of the I don't know if you've seen on TikTok the Gabriel kid that keeps winning the Zuzu fruit. Like he's the kid that he's this poor kid. Like his parents have this game where you blow on the cup and it moves. You either get Pringles, a soda pop, or a candy bar, or a Zuzu fruit. And he gets all mad because he keeps landing on Zuzu fruit. And anyways, But
But
check
he
it
didn't
out if
even
you
want to
have.
get in the ring. Like I was like, come on, get in the ring. He didn't even want to get in. But the blue and the pink, the one in the blue and the one in the pink, they got in the ring. And the pink one didn't want to get out the ring. So I could definitely see her coming back to finish the story. And I'll be ready.
You'll be ready. Awesome. What in the back to school drive is that? Yeah, is that where like the donations go to, like school supplies and whatnot?
So this is at Dodge. I think it's at Dodge. It's at a car dealership place that they do every year.
Mm-hmm.
It is a drive. It's completely free. We put on the show for the kids. We give out backpacks and things like that. I don't recall if you can drop off your own stuff because it's sponsored by HEB. So I don't know too much about it. I just show up and try to do my best to give out the backpacks and have fun with the kids.
That's got to be fulfilling to see those smiles and inspire those future wrestlers. Like I said, they're gonna show up, and especially little girl Pink, she's gonna show up and finish the story.
Don't she look ready? Like, look at her.
She looks
like,
ready now. Like she's ready to chop. They got
like
home
3
and
years ago, so she should be like 15 now. So
oh boy, here we go. All right. Angels came across this photo. Angel, you had some questions about this one.
I was like, ooh, who are these styling and profiling men?
Okay, those are the City Boys, which is also my crew that I rode with in Dog Pound. Those are my babies. Like, we're friends in and outside of the ring. Like, I love those guys. Those are the City Boys. They are the current Dog Pound Championship Wrestling champions. And as you can see, they want to show their assets because they kept making fun. Because, like, my pose when I come out, I do the whole look thing. And they was like, "Oh, we're gonna do your pose," and I was like, "Y'all some haters." But no, they really not. They wanted to do something cute, so we did that. That's our little pose.
I love it.
That's awesome. Total, they're sending MXM collection vibes too. Mason Madden and Mansoor, right? And the leggings. Come on now, the leggings. Let's talk about it. Fantastic.
Yeah, this girl is so cute.
Yeah.
Maybe they can come out with you. They can second you at your next.
If we can ever get on the same page, they're my guys out in and outside the ring, but on show day we're enemies. So
I got you. I hear you.
You said love it. Aw.
Yeah, that's cute. Where was this taken?
So I went to support the City Boy. I went to support the City Boys at a show. I honestly don't know where I was at. I got in the call with them. I said, I'll come. And I saw this little rustic background. It used to be a barn, but now it's turned into a bar. And they had a wrestling ring like to the left of this, which you can't see. But I was like, oh, I'm so like festive. I was like, I want to take a picture in front of this rustic building. So one of my friends took this picture, and I think it's really cute. Yeah, one of my favorite pictures.
Always photogenic, always ready for the picture, always looking out for that shot. I mean, we had the November shot earlier, the MILF cowgirl, and now we've got the MILF barnyard lady. All right. Rhodes Academy.
Where is that?
Memories. Stop it.
All right, so talk a little bit about Rhodes Academy in this picture and just how the feelings that brings back to you.
So first off, shout out to Dustin Rhodes, who is my birthday buddy. We share the same birthday. We're Aries babies, so shout out to him. I am the Rhodes Wrestling Academy referee. I am the only ref right now. And Promise Braxton was there. I didn't know she was going to be there. She did one of the showcases. Mm-hmm. And when I see her, like it goes back to when we was at Reality Wrestling together. Of course, I'm no longer there, but she's still there. Mm-hmm. So we link up together. It's like silly vibes. We have fun together. And I was like, oh, let's take a picture. She's like, we have to take a picture. So this is what came out. Like, this is us just in our natural element being silly. That's my girl.
Any chance of a tag team? Mystic Promises?
Come on now. That's what you on the. You coming out with these names now. Mystic Promises. I love it. There has been a little bit of talk of us tagging together. We just have to find the perfect, I wouldn't say perfect. We just got to find the right time to do it. And it has not presented itself yet for us to be a tag, but we have talked about it.
Interesting, because there's a certain wrestling promotion in San Antonio that is under revision and in 2025 is coming back strong. I don't know if you heard of Mission Pro Wrestling. Yeah, and the current tag team, but see, the current tag team champions, Fire and Fury, that's Nova Phoenix, who you have faced before, and Morgan Mercy, they're the tag team Mission Pro tag team champs. They seem to be frustrated that nobody wants to challenge them for their titles while Mission Pro's in hiatus. If only there was a experienced tag team that are good friends that gel together that could, mystify them into a challenge. I wonder if you know anybody that could fit that.
I'm gonna have to look into that. I don't.
Goddaughter's really thinking hard. She's like, who could that? Who do you think, Goddaughter?
What do you think?
I don't know.
You don't know either. I don't.
You think Mystic Promises?
I think we can talk about it. I think we can see what's going on. I've never heard of Mission Pro before, but we'll see. We'll see it.
I'll take the money.
He said, "Book it. I'll take it."
I'll take it.
Take my money. Take my money.
Take me, please.
Well,
I
gotta ask you about. Move it around here. I'll get you on screen. As far as women's wrestling, where we are today versus where it's come from. You talk about the legends like Jazz and Lita and Trish Stratus, Lou Fisto, go all the way back to Wendy Richter, the Fabulous Moolah, Mae Young. You've got all these legends where how women's wrestling has evolved, the Four Horsewomen and where we are today. Just kind of reflecting on that and where you are and where women's wrestling is today. Do you feel like we're entering a women's wrestling renaissance? Do you feel like there still need some room for improvement? And just kind of just talk a little bit how important representation is, especially as a woman, representation in professional wrestling is.
Well, even when I started wrestling just 3 years ago, it wasn't that many women wrestlers out there. When there were, they were wrestling men. So they didn't have anyone to come around and compete with other women. Like me as right now, any woman in the San Antonio area that wants to wrestle, come down to Dog Pound Championship Wrestling. Currently, I am still the only girl there that wrestles. We have girls that come in every now and then that come train with me, which I very much appreciate. But there's still, to me, there's not enough. There's so many women wrestlers out there across the globe that are making a name for themselves. They're slowly climbing the ladder. And I'm rooting for you guys. I hope you guys can make it to a level where you feel more comfortable and you want to be setting a great example for the younger girls going up. Because those girls that you showed me in pictures with, who knows? Who knows where they will end up? And women's wrestling has come so far. Like sitting around talking to Jazz a lot, where she talks about, there are some times where it was just me, and I was wrestling men, and I'm having to carry the weight of men and doing that stuff. So to be like in an era right now where women's wrestling has been taken off for the last 5 or 6 years, like it is a great time to be a women's wrestler. I know there's more to come with women's wrestling. You guys were just talking about the 5-on-5 tag that they had recently at NXT in a historical building. Yeah. So to see that, and they have done the the cages. They have done those the 5-on-5. I can't think of what it's called.
Oh, so the War Games.
Yes, War Games.
Wait. I gotta say it right. War Games. I gotta say it like William Regal.
So, like, to see the War Games matches that has happened, the first one that happened, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. Like, to see that happen and to see the ladder matches happening now, where they have the Money in the Bank ladder matches with women, like, it has come so far to the point where women's storylines are taking off more than the men. It's not just about sex appeal anymore. It's about hard-hitting, in-your-face, mat freaking wrestling. And that's what I really love about where the women's wrestling is going. It's not just about sex appeal. We don't do the lingerie matches anymore. We have gotten away from the Jello matches and the, all these sexist matches that we've had. We've gotten away from that. And we're in the era now where it's like, okay, that was cool for that era, for that time. Now we want to see you guys whoop each other ass. And it's great.
Yes.
I love it. And to be trained by Jazz, she's a brawler. I'm a brawler. That's my style of wrestling. And to get out my comfort zone just a little bit. Like, I remember when I first started. I'm going to tell this story. I remember when I first started. And my whole thing was I didn't want to wrestle men. Like, I was like, yeah, we got somebody for you. It's a guy. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to do that. Sorry. Like, I don't feel comfortable. So I remember the first time I went to the show and, a woman was booked. And I was booked, and then she didn't show up. So they still wanted me to wrestle. And I was like, oh, well, we have this guy for you. I was like, well, I don't feel comfortable. And so I had a conversation with my significant other, and I was like, hey, I really don't want to do this match. I really don't want to wrestle a guy. Like, I want to stick to the women. I want to stick to how women's wrestling is. And he was like, sometimes you have to do stuff you don't want to do. He was like, if you don't want to do it, I support you. If you do it, I support you. So I went and I talked to the gentleman. I was like, hey, I don't feel comfortable wrestling a guy. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't want to do this. And he was like, Mystii, I got you. Like, I understand what you're coming from. I understand how you feel about women's wrestling. Like, I got you. He was like, let me put you over. Let me make you look strong. Let me do this for you. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And so when I wrestled him, I was like, okay, this is not as bad as I thought. But I still wanted to wrestle a woman, but to wrestle a man, I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's against anything. I'm just saying it's so many women, female wrestlers out there. You could I will get in the ring with the greenest person you have, and we will make magic happen. That's how I learned. That's how the other person learned. That's how we bring each other up in this business. So, like, to stop my rant, no, women's wrestling has come so far. And it means a lot to me when another woman wrestles. Oh my God! And when I found out I was wrestling to you, I was excited. I was like, "What, me?" Like, I really feel like I'm just. I don't know the word I want to use. I just like I'm here. I'm just here. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like I'm a big name. I don't feel like I do feel like I am moving up in who I am and how I wrestle. But I don't feel like I'm a big name. But when I hear other women saying, oh my God, Mystii, when I found out it was you, I was excited. And I'm like, no, when I found out it was you, I was excited. So to get that kind of report back from other women, like, it means a lot. And like, to keep going forward and keep women's wrestling pushing forward. Sooner or later, it'll probably be WWE Monday Night Raw / women. Like, the women might get their own show. Like,
love that.
It's growing so much. Like, it's growing so much. So women might be on Thursday nights.
Take my money.
Mission Pro, who knows?
Mission Pro TV deal. Hey, never know what's going to happen. There's all kinds of cool stuff coming from Mission Pro. But exactly what you said, and it's interesting because there's any kind of performative skills. There's a parallel with professional wrestling and like stand-up comedy. Is you have to read the room. There's all this stuff, but there's also a distinction between there's the fans recognize superstar, but then there's the wrestler's wrestler. And they're not necessarily the one on the marquee, but they're the ones that in the locker room, those people like, oh, OMG, I'm wrestling Mystii Marks. This is going to be so cool. It's like they're the one that they know this one's legit. This is a person that I know is going to be awesome. And I wonder, that's one of those things like you talk about like a Holodead or you talk, Lou Fisto. A lot of these wrestlers that they may never have been like Lita, Trish, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, what have you, but they were paving the way. And then eventually they get their due because eventually we're going to be all mystified with that mist. But yeah, exactly. And I love that too, because, there needs to be more of a push. I do see how storylines, if you give ladies the chance to really get that time to shine, this storyline, like what's going on in NXT right now, I think, is a great example
Great.
of if you let the ladies shine, give them the chemistry, and you have that locker room where everybody's supporting each other. I think there's so much to that. And like you said, it's a great time to be a women's professional wrestler. It's a great time to be a professional wrestling fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up, this might show my age besides my gray hair, but I grew up watching Glow. And I remember, Glow was great, but Glow was a lot more campy. It was a lot more like, wah, wah, wah. But then, became WOW, Women of Wrestling, and they focus a lot more on the wrestling. Now, when you've got, and I'm curious to know your thoughts. You kind of touched on it earlier, but there's mixed views about like women in hardcore matches. And we had women in hardcore matches where and also something interesting that Janai Kai told us a while back is the reason she prefers to wrestle women is it's not so much a sexist thing or whatever. It's more she wants those numbers of, she wants those rankings like, hey, I want to be seen in the women's division overall.
Yep.
This is who I've wrestled Masha Slamovich. I've wrestled La Rosa Negra. I've wrestled these people. And that's what she wants. She wants those numbers. Because if you then wrestle Matt Cardona, yeah, it might be a banger match, but at the end of the day, win or lose, it's not really counting towards her women's rank, and it's not really elevating women's wrestling. But then on the other side too, sometimes those like the lights out matches we just watched on the Saturday Collision, Thunder Rosa had an incredible match with Harley Cameron. I mean, she did this spot where she ran up a table like a ramp. Oh, I love that. So do you think there's room? Do you think there's room or there's an appetite for like a hardcore women's matches, or do you think that should be something that's used sparingly?
I think there's room for it. But I think if it's done tastefully, it's done right. And when I say tastefully, like every show doesn't call for a hardcore women's match. Maybe you sprinkle it in every now and then, give the fans something to look forward to. So yeah, it's room for it. Definitely room for it.
We got Courtney says Misty reminds me of Big Swole and China.
Oh, thank you. Big Swole's a great competitor, and China is like a legend. Stop playing.
Big Swole. Oh my goodness.
Not like the thing to like actual China.
Yeah.
Who he's talking about.
Sorry, cool. She gave me a little sidebar.
Hey, we'll say, hey, that's all good. She gave you the side eye after that sidebar. Hey, Misty's gonna get Lil Pink to come after you. Be careful. No. Lil Pink's gonna finish her story with you, goddaughter.
Right back.
Well, Misty, thank you so much for hanging with us. This has been so much fun. And goddaughter, thank you so much for hanging with us.
That is now your name, goddaughter. That's what everybody's gonna call you now.
The goddaughter, like it's the Godfather, the goddaughter. She's gonna come out instead of the train. It's gonna be a school bus.
Oh, I was actually on one of her shows once. Me and my sister.
Oh yeah, so I brought her to one of my shows. She's seen me wrestle live before, but she hasn't never come with me to a show, like to see how we set up and everything like that. So she got in a ring with her sister, and they're just in there wrestling, and it was like a little heart flutter, just a little bit. And she loved it. She was like, "I hated that you lost, though. I start to get in the ring and beat her ass." And I'm like, and I'm talking about Reza Clark. Reza Clark is like 5'11", like 6 foot. Like, what do you? Like, what is she gonna do to Reza Clark?
She was like, "I'm not scared of your sister, but I'm scared of you."
Now, do you have the glasses and the look down? Do you have the pose?
You be doing my so you put a little stank on it.
There you go. Look, she did. She threw her own little stank on it. I love it. Well, to close out, I just want to. We always like to close out with a quote. This week's quote is from Nyla Rose. You can be yourself in this world. At a certain point, you can be yourself in this world, and at a certain point, you just gotta going to have to say F everybody
Mhm.
else. F everybody. I don't know what that F means. It's something. And
Friends.
this is my life. I have to take control of it. So you just got to sometimes be yourself. Be you. Be the genuine article. Don't worry about what other people have to say.
Mhm.
You be you. Be the awesome sauce that you are.
Agreed.
Any final thoughts or any words to the Mission Pro family? And
Hi, Mr. Pro family. I know y'all missed me, the majestic one, and I know
Yes.
I wasn't on a lot of the shows this past year, and I'm not going to apologize for being booked and busy. I'm not going to do it, but what I will do is say I miss you guys. Mission Pro will be back, and the majestic one will be there, and I will continue to put down every single woman who decides to come to Texas and try to take our spot, because this is us, where I wouldn't say I built Mission Pro, but I did start at the door, and
Yes.
I am one of the top women at Mission Pro. And if you got a problem with that, you can meet me at the door.
It's right
on
there.
your way out the door.
Okay, then.
It's that
Well, Misty, thank you so much, and Goddaughter, thank you so much. This is awesome. We'd love to have you back,
Yes,
and we're
absolutely.
super
This was fun.
excited. When Mission Pro comes back in 2025, we got to have you back, and we got to start. We got to look into Mystic Promises. You know, that tag
I'm
team.
gonna text her right now.
Well, good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And the socials, of course, we got Mystii Marks, Mystii.Marks on the Insta, on the Facebooks, Mystii Marks with the hyphen, Mystii Marks, and of course at goddaughter.com for Goddaughter socials. She might give you the stink eye, but it's all good. Well, for Mystii Marks, for the Goddaughter, and for Angel Marie, this is Mind Runner, and we'll see you next time, Mission Pro fam.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.
All right, that was so much